ACS lets us accomplish some really interesting things for Doom. Now, I've made this unsettling pulsing vein effect using ACS scripting, and in this video I'll show you how you can do this effect too. So I've just made a quick room in Ultimate Doom Builder, and I've applied a fleshy texture to it. We need to build our vein in here, which requires a whole bunch of sectors. If you're just building a straight one, we can do this really easily using the grid builder. Just use an appropriate number of sectors, remembering that the smaller you make each segment, the slower the vein pulse will be overall. Next, we'll add some sectors to either side and slope them in visual mode to create the bulge for our vein. Next, grab all the sectors you've made. Paint Select's a great tool to help with this, so make sure you've got a key bound to this. Tag your sectors consecutively. You can do this using the greater than equals sign followed by the first number in the sequence of numbers you'd like to use. I like to set tags for effects like this starting at 1000, so there's no interference with other tags in my map. Now that we've set up our vein, it's time to do some scripting. Jump into the ACS script editor and add the hash include z::ACS reference at the top, and then we'll build the script. Like the tags, I use a high number for effect scripts like 100 or something just to keep it out of the way of my normal void scripts. We want this script to run as soon as the map opens, so use the open keyword here. Inside your curly brackets, make a for loop. You can get it to autofill just by typing for, then hitting enter. Then you can add your details. Make your I value start at 1000, and we want to designate the end value as I is less than 1 higher than our last tag. In this case, it'll be 1081. The I++ means that every time the loop repeats, I will equal 1 higher than the loop before it. Inside this loop, we're going to call the floor underscore raised by value function. It takes 3 arguments, tag, speed, and height. So for tag, we want to give it the value of I. For speed, we'll go with 10, and height is just 4 units. Don't forget the semicolon at the end. If we run the script like this, it'd immediately cause all 80 sectors to rise up by 4 units, which isn't what we want. So we'll need to add one other thing to the loop. We want to give it a delay of 1 tick after each time the floor raise function is called. What will happen now is the first sector will start to raise, then the script will wait for 1/35 of a second, and then rerun the loop, causing the second sector to raise, and so on, until it hits the last number, 1080, after which the loop will finish. After the loop, I'll add a small delay of 6 ticks. That's all well and good, but this will only cause a single beat. We want it to repeat itself, so to do this, we only need to add a restart at the end of our function. When the script reaches this, it'll begin again from the start. So this function causes the vein to raise, but it doesn't cause it to lower. If we played the game now, the vein will just go higher and higher indefinitely. To address this, we're going to make another script, 101, which is nearly identical to script 100, except using the floor lower by value instead to return it to its original place. Notably, we're going to give this a script delay of 5 ticks before running its loop. This is to give the sector enough time to raise up those 4 units before lowering it again. If we don't give it enough time, weird things happen. Note that I've also added a delay of 1 after the for loop. This is to make sure the total delay is 6 ticks, 5 at the start, 1 at the end, just to equal the same total delay as script 100, so everything stays in sync. When you're finished, make sure you hit Ctrl+S to save and run the script to make sure everything's correct. You can see here I've actually left an extra bracket in my first script, which the compiler spotted, so I can get rid of that now. Now that that's done, we'll add a play start and give it a test. And there you have it, a beating vein. Doesn't sound very veiny though, so let's have a quick look at how to add a custom sound effect to this. To do it, you'll have to open up Slade, and you'll need a heartbeat sound effect. I found one for free for non-commercial use on pixabay.com. Add your effect to your WAD in Slade, then we're going to add two files. First, we'll add a sound sequence file, SND SEQ, and next we'll add a sound info, SND INFO file. We'll define the heartbeat sound in sound info just by simply typing the name you want to give your heartbeat. In this case, heartbeat will do, and the lump name directly afterwards. Next, we'll open the sound sequence file. In here, we're going to define a custom sound that can be played in place of the standard platform raise sound. To do this, we type : floor vane for this name, then on a new line, platform, then an index number between 0 and 4095. I'm just going to use 20 to make sure we don't overwrite any of the inbuilt ones from Doom. Then on a new line, we're going to do play until done heartbeat, which is the name we just defined the sound in sound info. This makes sure the sound plays all the way through, even if the platform finishes moving. Then we'll finish it off with an end. Back in Ultimate Doom Builder, we'll use the paint select to grab all our sectors, then right click, and in sound sequence, we choose our newly defined floor vane. Load it up and give it a try. And there you have a vane with a creepy sounding pulse, which will continuously play through the map. The great thing about setting it up this way is that you can reuse the same tags for multiple vanes across your map. You can play around by making branching vanes and other fun shapes. To sync up the branching vanes, just define the tags for the one path first and then duplicate tag numbers on the remaining vane, starting with the first number from the split vane. When you build things like this, you really do get out of it whatever you put in. If you take the extra effort to play with all the fiddly things like sloping along curved lines, you can get some really interesting looking organic effects. You can even take the same principles and build a ceiling vane. If you're running it over the top of your floor vane, you'll have to tinker around with defining multiple tags for single sectors, but it's certainly doable. Just make two new scripts and swap out the floor raise and lower for ceiling lower and raise, and they'll run independently. If you found this helpful, give this video a like so I know it's useful to people, and I'll build some more little ACS tricks and tips for future videos. Thank you very much.